Joan Wei's momentum is finally halted, but it needed a fair few opportunities for Ronnie to get over the line there.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before, you know, you have your concentration and you lose it. It's not a switch. You can't just flick it and the way it comes back. It's very difficult sometimes to get back, but he put a couple of good balls early on in that great blue, Ronnie, right at the beginning of the frame where he cued it well. But we saw earlier in this match where he was unlucky, in my opinion, when he's come off the blue and ended up stuck on a red, but he's not unlucky in this one. I mean, he's on the brown coming up. He should be nowhere near the pink off this. And this was a decent chance, actually, to get a counter in the frame. So that was a very poor shot there.
What did you make of that effort from him and the way, actually, it is so difficult to come back after those back-to-back centuries?
Well, I mean, you know, he's done very well to get those 3 frames on the board. It was always going to be tough to sort of get back on level terms, but it looked like he had a chance. He was a little bit straight on that brown, and he had to try and make sure he overhit that shot, but you know, he didn't really get enough pace on the cue ball. He got given chances after that as well, and it could have gone either way. But you know, Ronnie steadied the ship, really. There's not much more you can say than that. So he'd be pretty relieved to have walked out of the room with that now having 3 bites at the cherry.
How do you think he'll reflect on the last few moments in this match when he looked completely in control of it at the interval?
I don't know, actually. That'd be very interesting if he does come through and he comes in and it'd be interesting to see what he says about it. But there's no doubt about it. Those first 4 frames today, he was in total focus. Nothing was bothering him, only a fly that's like this one going around here at the moment.
Yes.
That was the only thing, but you know, everything looked perfect for him, and then the interval came, the dreaded interval, and since then it's all been ding mostly.
Yeah, I mean, players don't necessarily watch matches back. They have enough time on their hands in a way, they'd probably get on with the next practice session, but if he watched it back, he may go, yeah, perhaps I did play a couple of risky shots in frame 5 that let my opponent in with a few easy chances. But you play the shot you see when you're out there, and probably, on reflection, Ronnie O'Sullivan plays more right shots than any other player in the game, so we're not going to pick too many holes in that.
Absolutely, because it's made for an absolutely fascinating afternoon. We've had wonderful drama the way this match has seesawed. By the way, fair warning, we're actually going to change channel and hop over to BBC 2 at 1:30, so just be aware of that. We'll continue to watch this early part of frame 9 here on BBC 1, but if you want to go with us, I will tell you once again when we're about to hop over. But fair warning, as I say, and back we go for frame 9 of a possible 11. Ronnie on the brink of final number 13.
Good length with the cue ball. I don't think Ding can get to the potting angle of this red near the right corner. No. So he's just playing the containing safety. Leave the cue ball near the top cushion. But maybe left a possible pot here to the left middle. Well, maybe not. I think if he had it done, Ronnie would have been playing it by now. That yellow is or appears to be a nice blocker to the main bunch of reds. There's a possible pot on, but also a easy enough safety. Play this red here with a lot of left-hand side to get back to the baulk cushion. A little bit harder than intended, but safe enough. Well, this is amazing. I mean, it all looked plain sailing before the interval. 4-0. Mind you, by the same rule, I suppose we could say, Stephen, not put under a lot of pressure before the interval.
He was dominating thing, winning in every department. We've seen the stats, and yeah, he definitely looked a little bit nervy. We want this match to go on much longer. and kill it off as soon as possible.
1.
Of course, the black tied up at the moment, so you'll be looking at a way to bring the black into play sooner rather than later. Yeah, and it seemed to me, well, early on in the match, you pointed out that Ronnie looked very focused, and now he's just making one or two, well, basic errors. I mean, that safety shot that's give Ding this chance. I mean, that was the type of mistakes that Ding Junhui was making. And they're poor safeties.
Yep, that's exactly the kind of thing
7.
that Ding was doing. Hoping for a nice angle in the blue here. Not enough angle to go into the
8.
bunch. I'd like to go into them, try and bring either pink or black into play. Surely he's not overscrewed this.
30.
Well, what an error. That's criminal for Ding Junhui to leave that cue ball there. He will be absolutely furious going back to his seat.
Ding Junhui, 13.
Well, he can clearly hit the reds, but doesn't feel as though he can play or get any advantage. So coming round, well, is it a 1 cushion nestle into them? Well, there's 2 cushions. Needs to miss the first red, which he's done. Is he hard enough? Oh, touch of a surgeon. Beautiful.
Touching ball.
Looks like Ronnie's going to have to play. Well, that 2 cushion escape that he played last time was a little bit risky for me. The 1 cushion, there's a lot more chance of getting it safe. A lot more margin for error, and that's why he played the 1 cushion that time.
So it all depends how aggressive Ding Junhui wants to get with his safety. Does he want to try and open up 2 or 3 reds and get a good cue ball? Didn't develop any reds, but decent cue ball.
Our coverage continues now on BBC Two until the end of this match. So, for those of you watching on BBC One, it's time to say farewell, or please make the change and come with us to the other side now. Well, this really is a crucial part in the match. O'Sullivan 5 frames to 3 ahead. This is frame 9 of a possible 11. Stephen Hendry, John Virgo in the commentary box.
Well, Ding Junhui potted a good thin red there, but you can see it straight away heading for that far corner pocket. Never touched the side. This is a better shot from Ronnie. Too many times for me since the mid-session interval he's played safety shots and not reds near the corner pocket, which is very unlike Ronnie to do that. There's the match time, just over 2.5 hours. Just a little bit thick on that, but a little flick off the brown behind the yellow will help. Ooh, perfect. I don't know why Ronnie tapped the table. That was a bit of luck. So 2 cushion escape here with pace. See the 2 reds that are together just right of the black? He'll be trying to clip the furthest one. Well, he got the near one, which catches the red too thick. But the blue has stopped Ding Junhui getting to the easy red to the left corner, but there's still one to the right corner.
Yeah, it's getting the cue ball out of there for any sort of position on the colour. I suppose you could play a cannon on the black directly, leave the black to left corner, but it's a risky shot to play. So he's still keeping his discipline, Ding Junhui. He's not just going all out attack. Decent safety shot there. Don't think Ronnie's got the option of the red to right corner and followed the cue ball through.
He's got to catch this just right. The blue's the big ball in the middle of the table, and he's found it. That was a tough shot.
Well, I'd love the black to be able to go to the left corner, Ding Junhui. I don't think it does, but that would have been ideal. That's another. Okay, it's not the easiest safety shot in the world, but we're that used to. Well, certainly the first 4 frames, Ronnie's safety being perfection. This needs good cueing, and with the rest. Oh, he's changed his mind. It's not a lot easier, this one. The pot was hard enough, but getting the cue ball out of there was the problem.
Yep. That's what can happen at this game. Your opponent makes a mistake, but they leave you reds on, but it's very hard to get on a colour. And that was the case there for Ding Junhui. So trying to get that cue ball tight to the baulk cushion here. Trying to force the mistake from Ronnie. Not tight. And you'd be amazed how much difference it makes. I think he's eyeing up a pot here, Ronnie. He wouldn't if he was tight to the baulk cushion. But he thinks the pot's easier than the safety. Oh, what a tremendous pot it was. All he'll have is the yellow, should he choose to play it, but he's got the angle on the yellow. These are missable. You can't take these for granted.
Dropping the cue ball into an area by the choice of 2 reds, one to right middle, one to right corner, possibly one even to the left corner, so he's got options. Oh, super pot. Not gimmies then. and added into that the pressure of what he was going to leave on should he miss it.
Yes, and there is pressure now because Ding Junhui has proved, given a chance, that he'll be winning frames in one visit. So Ronnie needed a response, and that yellow, from his point of view and his supporters, was a good sign. That was a terrific shot, made to look very easy. This was it, a natural angle. A lot of people like to stun those off the side cushion, just feels you've got more control of the cue ball, but no, not Ronnie. Fully committed, floated it in. His big problem here at the moment is the black. The pink now looks to be tied up, apart from maybe possibilities going the left middle. He's obviously going to go up for the blue here, but he's just looking how he can get position on the black at some time. Can he get on it off this red? The problem is if he plays on the black off this red, he'll have the wrong potting angle on the black to get on the next red. That's why I suggest the blue.
11.
Come down the table. Well, probably purposely a bit further because the blue wasn't on its spot. Got a nice angle on the green. I suppose the brown, if you stun it round off 3 cushions, he's got the red that's closest to the top cushion to play for. Lots more margin for error. Well, flicking the blue.
50.
Well, he's still got a red, the one to the right of the black. It's not the one he played for. And a little bit of work to do with the cue ball here.
Yeah, the fact the blue is not on its spot, that would have been a straightforward positional shot. So that's why he's going back up to the bulk end. It looks like he's overhit it. Now he needs it to run.
60.
Sailing didn't play for the brown. Another tricky pot to keep this break going. Options, middle or the corner. Looks like he's lining up for this right-hand side corner pocket.
Yeah, he had a yellow earlier on in the match that he missed, similar to this. But not that one. Not that one when it mattered. That yellow, I think, early on in the match was possibly to keep him going for a century. This was a frame and match winner.
Good red to take away that one. That opens the black up to the left corner.
Six.
Played that with a lot of left-hand side, looking for another 28 points here. So if he takes high-value colours, particularly if he can get the black on its spot, 28 points. Well, 4 reds, 4 blacks is 32 points. Looks as though he's going to play for the black off this red.
7.
Yeah, and the reason he could play for it is the potting angle on the black takes him away from the reds, but because he's got that one near the left corner, he doesn't have to be that precise with position. But he's still going to have to disturb those 4 reds in the middle of the table to win the frame and match at this visit.
$34.
Just about got there, but it's not this shot. He needs to get a good angle on the black, and then the cannon will decide whether he can win frame and match at this visit.
35.
This is the shot coming up now. If this goes right, surely it's all over.
Stroked that red in beautifully, perfectly on the black. And that is a perfect outcome, and you would have to say that's the match-winning shot.
42. 43.
Red and a pink, red and a black, and Ding Junhui.
49.
His race has been run in this year's Dafabet Masters, but boy, has he given us some entertainment this afternoon.
50.
When it was 4-0 at the mid-session interval,
Thank you.
he didn't hold out much hope for him, but he certainly entertained the crowd. And nothing to be ashamed of. Nobody has. When you lose to this man, greatest snooker
56.
player in the world. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And if there's a more talented
57.
sportsman playing any sport in the world, I'd like to know who it is. To be able to play at this level with left and right hand is just incredible. Now just going through the motions for the crowd
63.
to clap his every shot.
64.
Wasn't vintage Ronnie Stephen, but you always felt that 4-0 in front he was never going to lose.
No, the first 4 frames broke the back of the match, didn't it?
66.
Outstanding match performance. Okay, no century breaks, but
68.
just completely outplayed his opponent in every department. Slight hiccup, perhaps, in concentration since interval, but
71.
in the end, that 4-0 lead proved pivotal.
$75.
And getting into his 13th final at the Masters. Amazing. And already won
8.
it 7 times, broke Stephen's record of 6. And in the final tomorrow, trying for an 8th.
86.
In goes the black. There'll be a warm handshake between the two players. Great respect for one another. And Ronnie always likes to have a quiet word with Ding Junhui. He's got great admiration for him. And he was just a little unlucky that he didn't make the maximum. But it's Ronnie O'Sullivan, the crowd's favourite, had that 4-0 lead and came through at the end and has won the match by 6 frames to 3. The Rockets in the final again.
And isn't that amazing and really wonderful to see? There is huge respect and huge affection between these men. We've seen it so often in their rivalry over the last 13, 14 years. And look at this, going out as pals. Absolutely brilliant. Very seldom do you see that in sport. And that is a real tonic, isn't it, after a wonderful match, John Parrott?
Yeah, fantastic. Like a couple of old boxers slugging it away. It's all finished, the bells rang, and let's have a cuddle.
Well,
I'm not too sure Dings is worried about all the cuddling, but never mind.
you get the feeling that maybe Ronnie's dispensing a little bit of advice to him because it's not been the greatest of seasons for him. But this surely, a performance, particularly after the interval, says that there's a lot more to come from him.
Yeah, I think looking at those pictures there,
Well done. We were just fascinated with that embrace at the end with Ding, and we're just wondering if you wouldn't mind telling us what you were saying to him there.
No, it's just between me and Ding, you know.
Fair enough,
he knows
fair
what
enough.
I think of him, and I said what I had to say, and you know, you keep stuff like that
It
private
is
to each
clear
other.
that there's a real respect and affection for that man for you.
Well, because you know, he's just one of the best guys. You know, he's just got a heart of gold, and you know, his family have looked after me whenever I go to China. You know, they're just the most amazing people, and you know, I just seem like a brother. You know.
Yeah. Well, Luke, sorry, Stephen.
I was saying, you said you were willing him on to make the 147. It was a great effort, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the last black
Yeah.
that he parted with the rest. I mean, he'd be disappointed. I think he's the type of player that if he'd have made the maxi, he'd have probably been disappointed that it wasn't the perfect maxi. That's the type of player he is. I mean, he's such a perfectionist, cue ball control and that. But you know, it was just brilliant. You know, brilliant to see the London crowd have a chance to see a 147.
It was indeed, and you were enjoying it as well, particularly when that yellow fluked in as well.
I knew it was in before him. He's gone like that, and I'm like, it's in. And I think if he would have not done that, he might have had a chance at the green. I don't know.
It's a strange game because, like, before the interval, you were like a lump of granite, and it felt like you let him off the hook a fraction. Judging it from afar, when you're playing the game, you don't analyse it the same as in the studio.
Yeah, now listen, I wouldn't have been disappointed if I'd have lost because I loved that guy so much, you know, and I would have really been happy to see him competing in the final. You know, he wouldn't have done. He wanted to know everyone to the ground, you know. But I'm a little bit different like that, you know. I just enjoy playing. I enjoy competing, enjoy the occasion. But I've been so happy for Ding, you know, because he's a special guy, a special talent.
But these guys were saying you were virtually unplayable in those first 4 frames. You were really disciplined, really on it. What changed, would you say, after the interval?
Not a lot, really. I mean, I missed a couple of balls, but you know, it was 50s, 60s, 40s, bit of safety. You know, it's all right. You know, it's not my strong point, so. You know, it was, you know, I played the right shot, but it wasn't scary
Once
stuff.
again, though, you must be pleased the way to finish the match. Of that long red and the yellow in the middle, it's a brilliant way to finish the match off.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
The first red you played, like there was a danger you were going to go into the pack. You saw the fact you could get around the back of it. That was a great shot.
Do you know what it is? You know when you kind of get to a point where you don't care. Not that I didn't care out there. You just get to a point in life where I've trained myself to not care about anything, any consequences and whatever. And when you're in that place, you just take it for what it is. It's just a game and you enjoy it. And I have nothing to lose because I have fear that you know, there is no fear, you know, in a way. And that's just for life, you know. So it's just, you know, I just go out there and, you know, I just do my best.
That makes you a very dangerous competitor.
Yeah, it does, because some of the shots you have to take on these days. I mean, the second shot of that break to win the yellow in the middle was a very risky one into. But I think we've got these 2 shots you played actually. The red, you was in all sorts of trouble if you decided to play a safety shot. Marvellous, and you left yourself not easy on the yellow. And that went a bit too far down the table.
It's a curing shot, isn't it? If you cure it all right, it goes in. If you cure around corners, then you miss it thick, thin, all sorts of stuff.
It does help if you sort of can give that sort of, you know, doesn't matter if you miss it or not.
Yeah, honestly, it's not I don't care. I mean, it's just you train yourself. The SAS train himself to do a job. I train myself to not get hurt. You know, in life you have your ups and downs, and I've just trained myself that nothing is gonna, you know, I'm not gonna be, you know, vulnerable to anything, you know, even life itself, you know. And I'm not a religious person, don't get me wrong, but you just have to, you know, because it's life can be tough, and you have to just sort of learn to roll the punches and come out feeling good no matter what the result sometimes.
I'll tell you what, Ronnie, you're on some roll. This is your sixth event and you're in your 5th final. Yeah, and you know, when you think back on that performance today and you look ahead to tomorrow and what's a 13th Masters final, what are you happiest with today, and what would you think about maybe trying to squeak a little improvement out tomorrow?
I don't look for improvement. You know, you just play the balls, play the table. Each day is different. I've had about 3 or 4 different cue actions this tournament so far. I changed it again at 4-3. You know, but I feel like I have a framework, or the scaffolding, if you like, with Steve. You know, the scaffolding's there. Now I can just tweak about a bit more. I lost a bit of my timing, but you know, I've had that for so long now, for so many years, that you know, I don't let it bother me as much as I used to. You know.
Actually, will you watch tonight? No, the other semi-final. Will you watch a bit of that?
I don't know. You know, do you know it's very exhausting because I don't know. Like when I'm 43 now, I don't know how you felt when you was 43, but I find I get tired now. You know, just concentrating for long periods of time. You know. And I always say to myself, what would a 29-year-old Ronnie do against a 43-year-old Ding? Mm-hmm. I think, you know, I mean, I think I'd get on top a bit easier. I don't know, you know, but as you're kind of like older and you're playing these youngsters, it's a bit difficult to keep fighting off the punches sometimes. You know, I've been doing it for 25 years, and you do get a bit punchy, and you know, you have to just kind of find a way to just find your place within the sport, I think, sometimes, you know.
Well, is it going to be a 30-something Neil Robertson or a 29-year-old Judd Trump with the big punches that you think you might be facing tomorrow?
Well, I mean, if you go by form, I suppose you'd have to say Judd. You know, he's played probably the best snooker out of Neil so far, and you know, he seems like he's turned the corner with his, you know, with how he's playing. So, but Neil's a dangerous player. You know, he studies the game a lot. You know, he looks at his statistics, and you know, he's found a way that he thinks he can play better. So you have to admire that dedication and that due diligence, if you like, about his job. So whoever it is, it's going to be a tough game, but it'll be a long day for me, you know, but I'm looking forward to a rest after this. I've got 2 weeks off, thank God for that.
Well, you've got a big day tomorrow, Ronnie. We really thank you for coming in once again. And I tell you what, that's some record this season. And you're into your 13th Masters final. Well done. All right.
13, unlucky some.
Well, indeed, yeah.